Today I'm talking about restricting life's journey the karmic way. So what do I mean by that? I'll start with something really simple. Names have energy. Do we agree?
Yes.
But who chooses our names? Who chooses our names? Parents, right? But you know what, in my case, I chose mine. It's a very interesting story. When I was just 2.5 years old, my parents were looking for school admissions. And I was called Anu till then. But they wanted to change it to something deeper, like with something with a deeper meaning. So during a school interview, a principal asked me, "What's your name?" And I, only 2.5 years old, who could hardly speak full sentences, very confidently said Prerna. Everyone was stunned. They didn't know where it's coming from. My parents had no idea. The principal was like, okay, I didn't know it. Because he already knew I was Anu, right? So we don't know where it came from. But I feel it was destiny, or maybe it was some toddler magic. Because that name stayed. Now, Prerna means inspiration. Until today, anything I do has meaning for me only if it inspires someone. So today, I hope when you leave from here, you feel a little more inspired than when you walked in. So let's recreate my journey till today over here at this particular moment. And since I'm a yoga and a wellness expert, I'm going to add a little bit of yogic concepts to it. Okay? We were talking about inspiration. Now, what is inspiration? Inspiration happens when your brain makes connection with new ideas. Think of your neural pathways as these little roads in your brain. Now, every time you repeat an action, these neural paths or these roads become stronger. Right? But inspiration is only the start of a journey. What takes you beyond inspiration, what helped me through life, was showing up no matter what, again and again. Which means that if something didn't happen the way I wanted, if I did not do well in something, if I did not get the job I wanted, I kept working towards it. When I started my blogging journey, I used to write these drafts and show it to my husband. You know, like you usually show it to your family members, right, for their opinion. And he said that my writing lacked literary depth. Okay? So, you know, I started writing many years back, so that time there were authors who would write really, really beautiful language. But I wrote in a way like I was talking to a friend. Right? Like the way I'm talking to you right now. And when I chose the name Ma of All Blogs, I showed it to some of my close friends. Guess what they said? They said it was too cheesy. So I was a little taken aback. But when I used to go for any events and anybody heard the name, and I want you to let me know your honest opinion as well, they would stop me and tell me what a unique name. And they will never forget it. So sometimes, you know, people around you acknowledge you later than you acknowledge yourself. So with conviction, I just went on. I said, no, I'm just going to do what I want to do. I kept writing for months. And in a year's time, tables turned. I was in the top home blogging lists. I was being approached by brands. And my readers connected with my writing style. The same style that I was once scorned for. And today, 13 years later, I've been in this space for 13 years. 13 years later, I can proudly say that relatability is my signature. And people call me Ma more than they call me Prerna. If you go in this industry and you ask who is Ma, they will know. If you ask Prerna, few of them will know. So we call this tapas, which is dedicated effort. In yogic terms, we call this tapas. Now that is the heat that transforms the coal into a diamond. And then you need self-belief. That self-belief or Atmavishwas is what will get you through life. Okay? Next slide, please. Next. Okay. So we started with inspiration. We moved on to showing up. We went to self-belief. Now, just like how we do Surya Namaskars, and after doing a few Surya Namaskars, they start feeling natural. Just like that, our daily practice of gratitude and mindful breathing create positive sanskaras in us. And when we keep repeating these daily practices, they build resilience in our bodies, and habits shape who we become. So never giving up. Let me share an example of that. In 1988 Olympics, there was a diver called Greg Louganis. You might have seen some videos of him on Instagram. If you haven't, that's him. Okay? So when he went on the diving board and he was competing, he did this beautiful flip and his head hit the diving board. He went down, he had multiple stitches. Everybody thought his career is over. Within a few minutes, he was back on that diving board. And this time, he secured a gold. So what does this tell us? That life is not about success or failures. It is about how you rise each time you fall. So in life, when you're going through lows, and it feels like things are not going my way, मतलब कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा जो मैं चाहता हूँ, जिस तरह से मैं चाहता हूँ, then remember Greg and remember not to give up. Post-COVID, I was feeling very, very lost. Even after awards and recognitions, I was not feeling fulfilled. Instagram algorithm had changed, and my work is all in Instagram. So Instagram algorithm had changed. It meant a lot to me. All the people who used to look up to me were way ahead. Okay, and this was frustration for me, right? Because I had given in so many years. I told you I've been there for 13 years. My elder one was clashing with me. He still does. My younger one was going through puberty, and I was navigating perimenopause. My brain was chaos. So I came to a point where it was like, why do I need to do this? What am I doing? But instead of that, because I always show up, remember? I dared and did a Greg. I created a vision board, and I'm telling you here, vision boards are very powerful. I created a vision board, and that year led me to collaborating with UNICEF, giving my first TEDx talk, this is my second, buying 2 new homes, also creating the biggest community event where I had Bollywood celebrities with me, I had mega influencers with me, and NDTV was covering it. So from struggle to success, my story had transformed. So here is what I'm trying to tell you, that even if it feels that nothing is going your way, sometimes you just need to change the script. Going back, let's come to the next part. Focus. We all know Gukesh, our reigning chess champion. So sometimes, in life, when we are standing at the starting line and we're looking at our goals, okay, it might feel very far away and you might feel fearful about it. But Gukesh, what stands out for him is how he was calm when he won the championship. There was no expression, it was just calmness, and that went viral versus his rival. So I happened to meet his mental conditioning coach, Paddy Uptown, at an event, and everybody in that event wanted to ask him the same question, that how does Gukesh do it? Especially when he knows that that particular move can make or break him. So he said simple. When Gukesh is playing, he is only thinking of that moment in that moment. Not ahead, not behind. Because thinking ahead can leave you overwhelmed, and thinking behind can leave you with regrets. Isn't it a very, very powerful lesson? It's amazing. In yoga, we call it dharana, or one-pointed concentration, which means that if your mind is scattered, your energy will get wasted. But if your mind is steady, your powers align. In my life, I see kids. Okay, and when I say kids, I mean you guys. My son is in first year of mechanical engineering, so you people are all like similar age group. When I see kids, and might be younger kids also, I see ones who are very, very focused. And it's amazing how well at your age you know what you really want. It's really amazing. But there are also some who have no drive. When we were growing up, okay, and I'm from a middle class family, when we were growing up, we had no such option. If we wanted to do well in life, we had to work hard for it. There was no option. We were not looking for work-life balance. I see this whole work-life balance thing very, very strong in Gen Z or Gen Alpha. It's not bad. But when we were growing up, we had no option. We did not strive for work-life balance. We strived for growth, we strive for learning, and we strive for success. And trust me, if you see anyone today who's successful, it's because their hunger for growth and success has not let them sleep. If you think you can do things and achieve things just sailing through life, that's not going to happen. Which brings me to the next point. How high is your safety net? And I'll explain this to you after I give an example from my life. So I've done my college from Delhi University, and I'm from UP. Okay? All my life, my parents never let me step out after it was dark because UP is not very safe. Okay? And then I went to college in Delhi University, and we all know how safe Delhi is. Then, the first day of college, I was going to be staying in a hostel. My dad took me to the college. We changed to buses and we went to the college, and he left me there saying that you have to find your way back if you're going to study in the city. And trust me, it was 1995, there was no Google Maps, there was no mobile phone. And all I did the whole day was figure out, okay, how am I going to go back? I need to find someone who lives on that side of town and I can go back. So finally, I reached home, or my uncle's place, and my mom was relieved, my father was beaming with pride. But that one lesson taught me how to swim through, not to drown, but to swim. And it is the most powerful lesson in my life. So again, let me ask you, how high is your safety net? And here what I mean is, parents today are ready to catch their kids even before they fall. But if you don't let your child wobble, fall, and rise on their own, they're going to never understand the pain of failure or value the taste of success. In yoga, we say obstacles or kleshas are inevitable, but they lead to growth. So don't be scared of obstacles. Just remember not to give up. Now you might be doing everything right. You have the inspiration, you're showing up, you have self-belief, you have the focus, but you're still not being noticed. What is missing? The world is cluttered, and you need the spark of vocacious calmness, or maybe opera's authenticity to stand out. Because it's not about their achievements, it's about the uniqueness they bring to the table. Right? There are millions of yoga teachers on Instagram. Millions. But there are very few, and I would like you to, again, figure it out, Google it, who come every week in a sari and do a yoga challenge. But that's my USP. You need to find yours. just to let you know what I'm talking about. Sorry. Let's just, I don't know how to play this. Can we play this? No? Okay, so anyways, there was a video here, but you can see. Just see. Oops. Yeah, this slide, just play it. That's my other one. Alright, I think that's enough. Thank you so much. So you need to find a USP that will make you stand out in the lives game. Before I end the talk today, I would like to talk about mental health. And it's really important because you might be on this fast track to success, you might be doing all these steps, but if you will not feel fulfilled if your mind is not in the right place. Now we've gotten very used to scrolling through feeds and looking at these perfect lives, but what does that leave you with? It leaves you with self-doubt. Okay, you feel less about yourself. A lot of us go for binging, right? We're hiding behind binging, cities and seasons because we don't want to face the emotions or the reality. And if we do that, trust me, we are not going to reach anywhere. See, it's not about followers, likes, awards, marks, no. It's about connecting to the people around you that matter. It's about sharing those moments with the people who matter. It's about creating that emotional intelligence so that you know how to handle stress, failures, and relationships. That is very important. So just to sum it all up, inspiration starts the journey, but it's not enough alone. It's showing up again and again, no matter what, that takes you forward in life. Fueled with self-belief or Atma-Vishwas and conviction, you need to have an eagle-eye focus, bring in your USP, avoid distractions, and take care of your mental health. And that is the roadmap that will bring you here. In the end, let me leave you with a thought. The neurons in your brains are listening to the narrative you're telling yourself every day. So what is the story you're telling your mind? If that story does not serve you, change the script, because you have the power within you to write a story worth living.